The place that we lived wouldn't accept any subsidized help like Section 8 or anything. And they said, well, you now have a month to find a new place to live with 2 girls and no husband.
I found myself in a series of bad decisions which led to homelessness, drug abuse, violent tendencies.
I had a nervous breakdown and I was getting evicted at the same time. I was a mess.
When a person's in crisis, if they're trying to meet a need, it's not usually just one thing that's going on in their life. If they're coming in for a food pantry, there's a reason why they're not able to supply enough food for their family. Have they recently lost a job? Or has their employment decreased? Do they have a medical need that's not being met?
If you're in crisis, you're thinking day to day. You're thinking about where am I going to get my next meal? How am I going to get out of this abusive situation? How am I going to keep my mom safe while I'm at work? You can't think past today. So you definitely can't think about what things you might need 3 months down the line. A Family Neighborhood Resource Center helps them manage their crisis and provide them with access to services that brings them to their own sustainability.
You don't want to create barriers for families to go to this place to receive one service, to have to then travel to another place to get another service. So we try to combine as many of them in one place.
It makes sure that all of our services are streamlined for the benefit of the person who's using the services.
There is no wrong door to enter our Family Neighborhood Resource Center.
A homeless family might come into our transitional housing facility, and we make sure that if they need childcare, are connected to our early learning programs, and we also make sure that once they're able to obtain permanent housing, that they're also able to connect to our employment services.
If we are unable to meet the needs that they have at that particular moment within our agency, we can facilitate the connection to other community resources that can help them.
It's about making even more connections to the community and to our own program. United Way makes that possible through funding a Family Neighborhood Resource Center.
It's been a helpful place for all the refugees. They can just walk in and get help with pretty much about everything.
If we're able to work with that family while they're in crisis, we save the community thousands and thousands of dollars.
By virtue of the fact that we're here constantly problem solving with people, thinking about how do you overcome the immediate crisis and then what's underneath that crisis? How can we help you change the challenges that you're facing so that in the future these are less prominent? I think we avert so many situations that would otherwise go to the mental health system, criminal justice system, homeless prevention system, Department of Social Services, and also Child Protective Services.
They had me looking at an apartment within 15 minutes, and they had me moved within 4 days. If I didn't come and get the help that I got, I'd be on the street or dead.
It's immeasurable what the Family Neighborhood Resource Center means.
In addition to that, the Family and Neighborhood Resource Center coordinates all sorts of provider programs that are furnished by partners of ours that extend our ability to serve families and children.
Because we are a Family Neighborhood Resource Center, many have their free tax return prepared and access financial literacy programs, and then gain insight from partnerships we have with local banks to better access budgeting skills.
That's what United Way funds allow us to do, provide services outside of areas that are the traditional government-funded programs. We're able to pilot programs to fill gaps in services, be able to be flexible.
The final reason that the Family and Neighborhood Resource Center is so unique is that we are at strategic tables where policy and investment decisions are being made or considered, being a voice for the neighborhood, making the conditions better so that people's lives are easier, so that the challenges are less and they can just live their lives like everybody else.
The funding that we receive from the United Way is a huge part of us being able to do the work that we do on a daily basis.
By supporting the United Way, you don't have to pick a program, you don't have to pick an agency. but you can donate to your community, and United Way is going to help make sure that your community is being supported where it needs support.